Okay, Valkyrie fans. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Jeez. I was screaming at the TV. Every time Veronica Burton got the ball, I was like, drive, drive. Like her and Carla Lee. Oh, because there was no way they could cover him. But then we'd get stuffed at the close to the basket. But it was cool when they pulled Cardoso out of the way. Rupert was pulling Cardoso away from the basket, and then Burton, that one play where she was like waving Rupert or Temi, whoever Cardoso was guarding, she was just like, you could see her waving her, and then she just faked this way and then went right to the basket. Easy layup. Oh, well, this was nerve-wracking when it shouldn't have been, but you know what? There was a lot of people on the bench playing, and what's the new girl's name? Kayla Charles. Kayla Charles got some significant minutes, and she, you know what? For her first time, she did fine. She did fine. But Burton, Salaun, and Rupert hitting those threes, oh, those were clutch. They were clutch. Every time she hit one, it was like, oh, relief. And then we'd build like an 8-point lead, and we'd have an opportunity. This is where I'm happy. I'm happy we won. It's like we should win against Chicago, especially, you had two teams without, 2 or 3 of their starters. But when I saw that Hayes wasn't playing and Zandalicini wasn't playing and Monique Billings, I knew she wasn't going to play, but seeing Tiffany Hayes out too, I was like, oh no. But you know what? The thing is, these are valuable playing time for everybody that's on our bench. Because let's see, look at the playing time. Chen played 23 minutes. Amihir only played 9. I think they were worried about, well, I don't know. I don't know why she only played 9 minutes. I mean, she did okay while she was in there, but Kayla Charles was in there 16 minutes. Let's see, Rupert played 24. Burton played 30. Late played 21. Temi played 18. So Temi and Rupert were basically subbing each other out, and they gave each of them good minutes, like a good amount of minutes to like a whole quarter. It was almost like a whole quarter, and then they'd switch on and off. But Rupert hitting those threes between her and Veronica Burton driving to the hoop. Oh my goodness. It was, I kept wanting them to do it more, and they weren't doing it. They did it enough, I guess. We had very little. It was really hard for us to get inside in the paint because Cardoso is so much taller than everyone, and Elizabeth Williams is the ultimate shot blocker. She's a great shot blocker, and she got us a couple times. So anyway, the Valkyries get the win, 73-66. We are now 14-13. We are tied with Vegas. Now we're gonna have tomorrow off, which is going to be a really. I'm hoping that Zandalicini and Tiffany Hayes will be back for Sunday's game. Let's hope that's the case because we're going to need them against Vegas. But Vegas is playing Minnesota tomorrow. So I'm hoping they wear them out. So turnovers were good. We had 10 turnovers. Chicago had 11. We did just enough to win this game. But we had 21 bench points to their 10. You could see, like, we had certain advantages when, like, I wish we drove to the hoop more. Like, Salaun, I wish she would just go to the hoop. She still will stop, turn around, and fade away. And she makes those sometimes, but she missed a few of them today. I just wish she would go strong to the hoop, like, all the way. Just go in there. But you know what? We won, so it all works out. But in the future, it would be so nice if she would just... And she does that little hezzy. Like, just go up. She like cradles the ball and then throws it up later. And, I mean, that's her style of play, I guess. But, we had 4 people in double figures. So We did enough to win. We did enough to win. It wasn't the greatest game in the world, and Chicago's not the best team, but we did enough to win on the road. So now we are 3-4. Well, no, we won Dallas. So the Dallas game was home. So we're we lost that one. We lost that one, but we beat Atlanta, and then yesterday, who do we play yesterday? It's been such a whirlwind. But we won it against Atlanta, and then Chicago, and oh my goodness, I can't remember. I'm getting old brain. Washington. We got Atlanta, Washington, and now Chicago. We won. And here's the thing, Connecticut beat New York. Connecticut beat New York. I knew they were going to start winning some games. And New York is just so depleted, and so they've got to be just exhausted. They look exhausted. I didn't see the whole game. I'm going to report on that one a little later tonight, but things are happening, and it's like, oh my goodness. Now New York has 10 losses, and then Atlanta beat up on Phoenix by 20, 23. So they both have 11 losses, and then you have the Fever beat Dallas, so they have 12 losses, and then you have us and Vegas with 13 losses. So, boy, it's getting interesting. And then, let's see. The Sparks in Seattle are going to be starting here pretty soon. And get this, if the Sparks win, if they beat Seattle, Seattle will have 12 losses. So that means you have Seattle and Indiana with 12, and then us and Vegas with 13. And then you have Atlanta and Phoenix with 11 and New York with 10. That's a 3-game stretch for 6 teams. That's just, this is going to be, I don't know. And Stewie is not coming back anytime soon. I don't know if, I haven't watched the game yet, so I don't know if Emma Mieseman played, but they are going to need her with Stewie out. I didn't think that they would be hurt this bad, but that tells you how good Stewie is. She was holding down the fort, and they still lost some games, but they didn't lose they've lost, I don't even know how many, but they've lost quite a few lately. So New York has got to figure it out before the end of the month. They're going to have to figure that out. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Yeah, Minnesota and Vegas is the only game tomorrow. That's going to be, I just hope we have everybody back. I hope we have everybody back. So let's look at the box score. It was 14-15. We were down 1 in the first quarter. And then we made that up. So we're 23-22 in the second. So we were up. It was tied, scored halftime. And then they outscored us by 2 in the third, 17-15. And then we just put the pedal to the metal for the most part. I mean, we still made some mistakes that, we should have won by more. But we didn't take advantage of, we'd get a stop, and then we threw the ball away a couple times, and then, once or twice, but we just didn't hit our shots. We had a couple layups that we should have made. But you know what? We won. So 21-12 in the last quarter to get the win, 73-66. Let's see here. We had 0 fast break points. That's unusual. Chicago had 9. Each team had an 8-point lead. Ours was late, and theirs was earlier. But we eliminated that 8-point lead pretty quickly. So let's see. Rebounds. Let's see what the rebounding thing was. We usually out-rebound teams. They had 36. Yeah, we did in this game. I didn't think we did. Just with what they have and what we have. 36-32. We shot 36%. They shot 42%. But they only shot 27% from 3, and we shot 33%. We made 10 3-point shots. They made 6. There's the game. Right there. Right there. So let's see here. We had Kate Martin. She didn't shoot well tonight. That's too bad. She was doing good before But she played 20 minutes, but she was 1 for 9. 1 for 9. We have to do something about, like when she's playing and she's in there, and we want her to hit 3-point shots. We got to set picks for her or swing the ball a little bit more effectively and get her open. Because when she's open, she can nail them down. But closely guarded, she's just not as effective. So she was 14% from 3, 1 for 7. Let's see here. We have 3 points. Temi Fagbenle, she hit a couple short jumpers. I wish she could be a little more effective driving to the hoop. It's like her shot gets blocked too easily. But you know what? If that's the case, then just take those short little jumpers. I mean, Asia Wilson has made a career out of doing that. Just take that little shot right there at the foul line or just inside the foul line. She's been doing it a little bit, but it'd be cool because they drop off her. And, hey, take them. She had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. She was 2 for 7. She took a 3 and didn't hit it. But Carla, 11 points. She had a rebound, an assist, a turnover, a steal, and a block. So she had ones across the board. She was 2 for 2 from the line, 1 for 5 from 3, 4 for 11 overall. Veronica Burton, hell of a game for Veronica Burton. She did. She only was near that foul line like yesterday. I was talking about that. Just once or twice, but the defense wasn't near her, so it didn't really matter. But she was 9 for 9 from the foul line, and she drove to the hoop. I was hoping that they would just do a clear out and let her go more often. They did it a couple times, and it worked. It worked really well because she was just quicker than whoever was guarding her. So, but it worked enough, so that's good. 18 points. She was 4 for 9 from the floor, 44%. She was 1 for 3 from 3. So good game, Burton. She also had 2 steals. She had 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Very nice game. I'm so happy that she's healthy because we're missing 3 of our starters. It's just her and Salaun are the only 2 that are there for this game. But Rupert played well, 14 points. She was 4 for 5 from 3. Oh, that's such a nice thing. I was just so relieved when she was making those, especially in the second half. It's like, yes. She was 5 for 8 overall, 62%. She had a steal and 1 rebound. It'd be nice if she could get some more rebounds in there, though, because without Kayla Thornton and Monique Billings, boy, we need rebounds. Salaun did her part. She had 9 of them. 2 assists. She had a turnover and a steal. So, but we need more than just her, just Salaun in there rebounding with those other players out. Caitlin Chen didn't score. She was 0 for 3 from 3, 0 for 4 overall. She had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Anyway, she was good on defense, though. She was keeping herself between the person dribbling the ball and the basket. So, she was making it hard for the other team. So, hey, everything is a contribution. So, Amihir had 2 points. Kayla Charles, good game for her. She was, she only took 3 shots. She made 2 of them. That's a good thing. She made a 3-point shot, 1 for 2. She had 5 rebounds, so she was in there helping out on the rebounds. 2 assists, and that was it for her. And then Billings, Hayes, Thornton, and Zandalicini not playing. Whew. Boy, you'd think we'd lose without all those. But you know what? The bench players are getting great minutes, and they're everybody's tired, but that's good. Once we get a little bit of a rest and get everybody with fresh legs, or as much as you can at this time of the year, it's going to be good down the stretch because we're going to need that. So Chicago had 4 players in double figures. Elizabeth Williams, she played pretty well for them. She had 2 blocks, 15 points. She was 7 for 12 from the floor, and 1 for 2 from the foul line. Cardoso had 14 points. She had 11 rebounds, so that's a double-double for her. She had 2 turnovers and an assist. She was 6 for 9 from the floor. You can't ask for much more than that from her. They should have posted her down low like every single time. And they didn't do that. They were Rupert was getting her out of the key and making her post up away from, and she's just not as effective there. Kay Nurse was 4 for 10, 2 for 6 from 3. She had 10 points. Rachel Banham, 14 points. I was so glad she didn't get hot. Oh my goodness, because that could have wiped us out. She was 2 for 8 from 3 and 5 for 15 overall with her shooting. So Banham did not hurt us. She had 7 assists and 5 rebounds, but she had 4 turnovers. She did not, because she was the one I was really worried about, her and Cardoso. If there was going to be anybody that hurt us, it would be those two. And they both scored 14 points, but it wasn't enough. Oniwene had 3 points. She hit a 3. Uzan, this was, I think, her first game with them. They just signed her to take, because Van Lith has been out, and, with their other injuries. She had 5 points. Maddie Westbeld had 2. And that was it for them. So 27% from 3 is going to hurt you. And they were 6 for 10 from the foul line, too. 42% overall. They shot better from the floor, but a lot of that was Elizabeth Williams and Cardoso down near the basket. So, but, the overall feeling from the game was, Chicago started to get that lead, that 8-point lead, and I thought, uh-oh. With as many bench players as we had in the game, I thought, uh-oh, this could get away from us. And it didn't. So gotta hand it to the defense of the Valkyries, and they just hung in there. And it was almost like they were just like, okay, we're tired. Everybody's tired. Let's just keep it close until the fourth quarter. And then you could feel a little bit of more urgency in the fourth quarter. And that's when they took the lead. And just so nice. I was hoping that would be the case, but it happened. Anyway, so we're going to get some rest, and then we're going to go to Vegas and play Vegas, and hopefully they're tired after playing Minnesota. And we'll see. But so far, so good. I still have my 16 wins from the All-Star break. That's my goal. We got 3 of the 16 so far, so we have the whole month of August to get 13 more wins. And we're playing Chicago again. We're playing Washington again. We're playing Connecticut again. And I don't think we'll lose like we did to Connecticut. But it all depends on the healthy players. And the other side note, we signed Kayla. Is it Kayla? Yeah, I think it's Kayla. Charles, because right when Indiana signed Chloe Bibby for the rest of the season contract. So I think they were probably... I'm guessing they were probably waiting to see what Indiana would do with Chloe Bibby, and when they pulled the trigger and signed her, which with how she was playing for them, I knew that was going to happen. And that's smart by Indiana. I would do after. I'm shocked that other teams didn't pick her up, but we're going to lose out on Chloe Bibby. But let's hope Kayla Charles can. She contributed in her first game, get her used to everything, and we'll see what happens. So, good win, Valkyries. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next time.